What's going on, everybody? Welcome to NMI GT Entertainment, and I am Joel. Nice to see you on this blistering hot day here in Richmond, Virginia. And I have decided that I am going to do a video on WASP today because it seems like in the comments a lot of people still asking questions about what size tire, what has been done, yada yada yada. So I am going to break it down for y'all today and list off everything that has been done to WASP from point A till now. So we'll go ahead and start this video and we'll see you in a sec. First of all, let me apologize for all the fan noise because I got a fan there, a cat's watching the door, and there. So if you hear a little bit of bzzz in the background, it's not the camera. There's no video problems. It's just the fans going on, trying to keep Fat Boy cool. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and start with the front of this car and work our way back and stuff in between. So we'll see you in a sec. Alright, we're going to start in the engine compartment. So, for just a quick little reminder for those that don't know, when the Gen 4 came out, they went to twin throttle bodies instead of the single throttle body. So that kind of changed the market a little bit up for aftermarket itself. There's not a lot of people that do intakes right now. They're all trying to get into the swing of it and get it done. I do have a K&N set on here. Really because that was the only one in the market right now. J&L or SMB are coming out with one late September, and then another company, which I think Brandon is getting a sponsorship with, good for him, is getting one for this car. I don't know quite the details with all that stuff, so we'll let that fly as it flies. I'll let him talk about that when he gets around to it. But we'll go ahead and start in the engine compartment and show you what I got going on. Alright, everybody, here in the engine compartment you can see the twin throttle bodies with the twin K&N intakes that we have going on. They're open, so a lot of people don't like that they have open to the compartment of the car for heat soaking and sucking in hot air and yada yada yada. I understand that, and I know there's a lot of people kind of against it, but you know, I have driven this car in the heat and stuff, and I have not noticed any heat soaking or temperature difference because of the intakes themselves. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not a tuner. I don't have stuff hooked everywhere to let me know, just what the car brings itself. But for the most part, it runs fine with the way it is. No issues with it at all. But again, if you want to do an intake, you're kind of limited, cold air intake, excuse me, you're kind of limited on what you can buy at the moment. This is kind of a little pricey and kind of disappointing all in the same thing, because if you can see these welds on here, me and Derek have both discussed these welds. They're terrible. I mean, I don't know why K&N lets product like this come out. These should be at least smoother, or if they couldn't do it without the welds being like that, maybe doing a two-piece where, you know, there would be a gasket or something in between it, you know, a grommet or something with being there that you don't see that. I thought it was just a bad set. Got them to send me another set of tubings. They're just as bad as these. So I'm trying to find somebody now in the area to go ahead and paint the ones that I got, sand them down, get them nice looking, paint them yellow, and then put them under here. So that is the intake part of this car. Let me move over to something else. as you can see, I got a SOC, which it used to be JLT, which is now JNL. Yeah, that's a mouthful for you. Oil separator. Now this is actually the passenger side, but they put it on the driver's side. As you can see, it runs, this tube runs from here over to here, and then that runs back under and connects under there. Why they do that, I guess if you get the passenger and the driver, it's set up a little different. It might be put under there, or I guess it's the way they do it so that you don't have to take off the strut tower brace if you have one. If not, I don't know, but that's where mine sits. And I don't know if you saw Derek's video, he got the passenger and the driver side of the UPR. The driver sits in the same spot, and the passenger would sit under there somewhere. So yeah, and I think every car needs a catch can. I've had one on every car that I own. The Mustang, the Electra, Stormy, Brandon finally put one on his. Nightwing, I had it on the V6. So every car that is performance oriented, I even have it on the Jeep, to be honest. And the Jeep is actually the worst. So anybody that has that Jeep motor should definitely invest in getting a catch can, because this fills up at like 1,500 miles. The can is full again. So there's a lot of blowback in the Jeep motors. But for the most part, that is all that is done under the hood, minus the little plaque I put on there. For some reason, the Mustangs, the performance pack has the black strut tower brace, but there's usually just 2 holes there. And then you get the Dark Horse that it says whatever for the Dark Horse. So Anchor Room went ahead and set me up with this. Actually, I paid for it. They didn't set me up for it, but I did get it from Anchor Room themselves, which gives it a nice little look under there. It's yellow, like the engine compartment, in black, so it has a VIN number and what the horsepower is supposed to be. Anybody watching my video know that we're nowhere close to that. But that is the interior here. We did do headers also. You can't really see them. I got the Kooks long tube headers. Mine are catted. I wanted to stay with the catted set right now. I didn't want to go with uncatted. All my cars have catted headers on them right now, so it's what I'm used to driving. I like it that way. It passes inspection down here in Richmond, so for the most part that works out pretty good. Like I said, I'm sorry I don't have better light that you can see them, but they're in there, I promise you. There you go. Maybe if you see through there, Kooks headers are in this car. Other than that, engine wise, exhaust wise, for the front end of this car, that is what's done. For this part I got on the floor, as you can see, I have the RTR running lights on here, grill, lower grill, and side grills. Now the reason why I went with RTR on this car and not the others, I like the way the styling is on this grill. It's definitely a little different than the factory one, not even counting the lights themselves. But if you look here, this is straight through, so for air placement it's a lot more open. This is not like this in the factory where the horse is here and whatever. These are oval versus that hex, so this is actually a matte black, which is a lot easier to clean than the gloss piano black. And as you can see, it kind of sits in the front end the way it's supposed to, because this was all gloss. Down here was gloss, your lip was flat, and then I can't remember if the outside was gloss on the other ones, the side mark ones, but excuse me, the side vent ones. But you know, for the most part, that is the front end. These work great. The reason a lot of people have had problems with the RTR grills with the lights not working, so far, knock on wood, I haven't had no problem. And what makes this a little better, if they sold this grill without the lights, I would still get it if they had this opening, just for the fact that it's a straight opening. There's nothing in between it covering it up, It goes right into the air box. Same on this side here. So, and then you have down there, that is also open for the coolers down there behind that. But if you notice, and you always wonder why this side is closed up, your ECU is behind here. Ford has moved it from top to down here. Why they did that, you know, that's an engineer's question to ask, I suppose. But you know, that's why this is blocked off. So the side vent on here, you could leave it unblocked now. That is your opinion when you put this on. But it might cost you in the long run if you do that. So on to the next thing. Just for stating the obvious and having a conversation about it. This is the factory lip. This is the performance pack lip that comes on my GT. If you notice Derek's his lip on the base, there was no lip at all. It was just going around and down. Then you have the Dark Horse lip that came out a little further than this. I'm actually gonna rock this lip for a while. I thought I was gonna change it out. I did have one ordered, the same one that Derek has on his car, which is what I've said from all along. It's kind of the best of both worlds because it's a little further out here and here, but it's not like the RTR one that sticks out way so aggressively. And like I said, it does add a different look. I don't think it looks bad right now. Like I was saying, everything now is flat black in the front, minus the hood louvers up there. And RTR does sell a flat black hood louver if you wanted to go with that. I just left that alone because it kind of breaks it up in different spots. So you got the gloss there and gloss in the mirror and gloss in the roof, but the actual front end is flat. So yeah, so I just wanted to just touch base on the lip before anybody goes, why don't you got a lip, yada yada yada. That's my thoughts about the lip. I did have one ordered from the same people that he got his. I got jerked around for probably 3 months, and then when I canceled my order, all of a sudden Derek ordered his, and you know, then it rained and everything else, and he got his and everything. It's just a coincidence. And then I tried calling them back a week later, and they were out of stock again. So it's just not meant to be. So we will not be with that lip. All right, coming down to the front end of this car still, as you can see, I have switched out the performance pack wheels. These are the Velgen VF10s. 10s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spokes. That's how they got that name. It's a 10-inch rim in the front, so it's a 20 by 10 in the front, and this is rocking a 285 35 20. I love the look of this wheel, the way it sits in the car. There's no spacers, nothing like that in here. It complements the brake really well because it's so open that you could see it pretty good. No rubbing, no issues with anything. The fitment is perfect. This is lowered on Steeda Ride springs, not the dual rate, the other ones. I think it's the comps. I'll get you the real name for them here in a second. But and it fits perfect. I mean, the actual setting of this car is awesome. I mean, I can't say no more. It's exactly where I want it to sit. I could go over speed bumps and not rub anything. It's just nice where it is. And again, like I said, these are the Velgen VF10s. You can hit up Scott Velgen on Instagram or just look up the website and he can get you some of these if you like the way they look. They come in the black, the bronze, the silver. So, and they do have new ones that come out regularly. So, you know, you can hit him up and he'll get you straight with those if you like this type of wheel. Okay, and just to let y'all know, it is the Sports Progressive Ride springs, and they're accompanied by the kit, the caster camber plates that sit on the top. So that way I have it aligned correctly and doesn't have anything. If you can see, it's pretty much straight up and down like it needs to be. Has a little bit of camber, just the way I like it, but for the most part it is an up and down tire. No issues there at all. Like I said, it's definitely the look I like and what I was going for. So again, they are the Steeda Sport Progressive Magnerized springs for your car that has Magnerized suspension. Moving to the rear, we have the same wheel and tire package, but on the back of this one we have a 315 35 20. All these are wrapped in Nitto 555 G2s. They're very good tire. They're kind of good at all-around tire. They're not like the Cup 2s and other stuff, or the Cup 4s, I believe. So like I said, this is what I wanted. My car is streetable. That's what I use it for. For the most part, that is the suspension of this car. I do have other stuff to talk about, but as you can see, the fitment on this rocks. I mean, there's no issues with the fitment. There's no rubbing. Like I said, you would think it does, but it doesn't. So it runs great. It's been up and down the East Coast so far and no issues whatsoever. So again, Velgen wheels, VF10s, Nitto tires, good to go. So while we're talking about suspension, I also have what's called the Stop the Hop kit for the rear. What it is the subframe connector, excuse me for the pause there, the subframe connectors with the spacers to do the realignment for the rear, the little spacers that are about yay big that go up into the subframe. All that was one kit. This car does not hop when you get on it. It launches good. It might slide to the side a little bit, but you know, it doesn't have the hopping that these S550s, S650s normally are associated with when you try to rock them out. You know, they'll go when they try to do a burnout. These smooth as can be. No problems there with that. That was something that I wanted to get because eventually I'm gonna, you know, get on this car a little harder. Like I said, I only have 2,400 miles. I bought it in October. Here we are in June. So I don't drive too much, but that may change. So for the most part, that is the suspension part of this car. Now exhaust wise, we'll lead into that. Okay, the air delivery system for this car. So you did see the RTR grills with the open ports that go right to the air boxes. This is a straight shot right into there. Then they go into the K&N air filters. Okay, then into the motor. Exiting the Kooks catted long tube headers, which I always use catted. Sorry, I know when I go to boost it one day I'm probably gonna have to switch it up, but you know what, Electras run catted and I don't really have that much problem. Might be leaving some horsepower on the table, but for the most part it does good. Coming down to the mid pipe. Mid pipe is a Steeda H pipe. I like the sound of an H pipe. It's not raspy, it's a deeper tone. Like I said, I have no issues with that at all. Like I said, they're both good. They both sound great. I've heard them both, but like I said, that's just my preference. I had an X pipe on Electra and I switched it over to an H pipe, if that tells you anything. And then that feeds to the factory exhaust, the active exhaust that I have on here. I don't know if y'all have heard sound clips, and maybe I'll leave one on here, but if not, some of my other videos have them. And it sounds great. It sounds good with active exhaust. The active exhaust did not sound bad by itself. Now it's just that step a little better. So with that being said, we have RTR, K&N, Kooks, Steeda, factory. So that is pretty much the setup for the exhaust on here. Not a bad little gig, man. It sounds good to me. Other than that, mechanically, there's nothing else done to this. Suspension, wheels, tires, brakes are left alone. Exhaust, everything is redone except for the part with the active exhaust, so that stayed. Like I said, the car itself runs pretty good. We did black out the windows, if you can tell. Did a little eyebrow. I can't do whole windshield. It's illegal here in Virginia. Like, really, who cares, right? But my eyes aren't that great, so I didn't want to go ahead and give myself any heartache or long-term problems. So we went ahead and just did the eyebrow up to the center. I wanted to kind of cut it, because if you could, I don't know how well you can see that, but the line is right here. I wanted it to go to here and then back up, but I guess my request was denied and didn't get it done that way. So, but for the most part, I got the eyebrow. It does serve a purpose, like I said, and it does add a nice little look to the car. And as you can see, the vent is black, mirror caps are black, roof is black, wing is black. That is part of the performance package. They did have the black wheels, the factory ones, but of course I switched those out, and they did have the gloss front end that got swatched out. And like I said, it's a nice little blend of shiny black, piano black, and then a little bit of the matte black with the matted wheels. They're kind of dirty right now, forgive me for that, but that is pretty much the outside of this car. I did do a couple little minor things inside, and then for the most part, it is what it is. It is WASP, and that is what's done with it. So let me travel inside the car and show you what I got going on there. Alright guys, welcome to Sci-Fi. If you're not used to seeing this right now, these are the new digital dashes for it. You got your dashboard, and then your infotainment center over here. Like I said, I don't know if I have the key near me. I don't have the key here, it's over there. But this is what the interior of the new Mustang looks like. It takes a little while to get used to it, but once you get used to it, it's kind of fire. Like I said, you tend to see things a little different. So, and like I said, it is a process, and it's something that you got to kind of open your mind to a little bit. But for the most part, it does work good, and there's no issues. And anytime they need to update something, it's over the air. So hopefully they can get this thing tunable one day, and then we can really start rocking out with it. All right, my shifter. This is an MGW shifter. As you could tell, I have some short throws with it. That's first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and somewhere in there is six. So it's notchy, but it's a good notchy, you know? And you feel your shifts a little better. It's not sloppy, very tight. So there's no problem with that either. Like I said, that's the MGW shifter for the 24 Mustangs, and the shift ball was gifted to me by Brandon because he had that on his Mustang, and then when he switched over to the MGW, he went to the short handle race spec, so he had a ball with that, so he went ahead and gave me this ball. I had to buy an adapter for it to fit, but nevertheless it is on there, and it goes with kind of the carbon fiber theme that the car has, the faux carbon fiber everywhere. And then another company reached out to me and gave me the little pockets right here, and theirs is actually carbon fiber. Look to it. I'm trying to drop everything. Here we go. Carbon fiber lip, and they fit in. Sick. They don't rattle, they don't do anything. I did a quick little video on those, and the interior cargo here, which gives you something. But as I said back in the day when I made that video, all the change goes from this side to that side because there's no block here. I'm gonna see if I can find me a little piece of sponge and put it there, and then it goes right down the hole. But other than that part of it, you know, it works pretty good. Just because I know somebody's going to ask, the fronts are 20 by 10s with a 34 offset in the front, The rears are 20 by 11 with a 52 offset for the rear. Just to let you know, because I know somebody's gonna ask. Well guys, that is the video for today. It was something short and sweet, but I wanted to answer some of y'all's questions about what was on the car, some of the other crap that goes on with it. Like I said, I don't have all the answers, but what I'm going to try to do when I load this video, in the description, I'm going to try to put everything that I have on this car and where I got it from, and then a link to it. So hopefully it makes it easier if there's something that interests you on this car, that you can just hit the clicker and go to where you gotta go. But that's all I got for today. Well, let me close out this video. All right, everyone, there's WASP. There's all her stuff that's been done to her. Like I said, we're trying to get a Whipple one day. I need everybody to send me $5, just $5, and then I should be able to go ahead and get it. Everybody that subscribed. I'm just joking, guys. One day, hopefully, I'll be able to take care of it and get it done. Like I said, it's out of my reach at the moment. Like I said, those kits are, you know, between, I guess you could buy them for $8,000 and $9,000, but getting them installed, you know, or getting them installed to have a warranty is another, you know, $13,000, $14,000. So, you know, it is what it is, right? I could do the install. I've done it in Electra, so, you know, it's not that hard, and it's not really rocket science if you pay attention and do what you're supposed to do. It's all in the manual, right, man? So, but anyway, enough of that. Hopefully one day we'll get a Whipple on this car. Derek's gonna be rubbing my nose in it for months and months and months, because, you know, I'm not gonna get it and he's gonna get it. I told him to let me know when it shows up at his house. I will acquire it from him I'll test it out, more or less. So, but no, nevertheless, guys, this is the video for today. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I said, it answered some of y'all's questions. If y'all have any more, drop them in the comment. I like reaching back and forth and having conversation with y'all. So we'll see you on the next one.